what we do with the trio, it isn't. I mean, we are on jazz instruments in a jazz setting. We look like a piano trio. Jazz piano trio is how we look. Double bass and a drum set and a piano. But you're absolutely right. We don't do that format of head, piano solo, bass solo, trading forwards with the drums. We all have done that, and we've all studied music, and we've all done that thing before. But it isn't what we do in this trio. We, as you say, we do much more of a group improvisation. So getting into that kind of thing and how to get into that, it's very much, yeah. There are a few things to think about. One of them is this notion of acceptance, of accepting and being generous as a musician in the room, accepting that you are also, as a musician, you are able to make those suggestions to the band, that you're not always, as a bassist, in many ways, as I said earlier, we're providing foundation. So in some ways we're a subservient role in the band. We have a duty to do. But that's not to say that you can break away from that and begin to suggest stuff in the room. And if you're playing, as I said earlier, with musicians that are, caring and open and interesting, creative people, you will find that they know how to make space so that even though you're not going, this is the spotlight on the bass, this is the bass moment, spotlight on the drums, you're bubbling to the surface now and then. You can feel when the band opens up to make room for you. You can feel when the pianist or a guitarist is making that space for you to come forward. But the whole time you're aware that you're all in there together.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I mean, of the two I've heard,
when you feel this dialogue flowing, and it's a dialogue that works on many levels. It's a rhythmic dialogue. It's a dialogue about intensity, about dynamics. And when you really begin to really breathe together, and I wouldn't say think together, but your thoughts are in sympathy with one another, really amazing music happens. And that That won't happen if you're not open, if one isn't open and one isn't able to be accepting of what's in the room around you. Which I guess why it's really nice to play with people that you like, because then you can. I think it's a lot harder if the band's not talking, then you'll have to travel on different planes.
let's ask some people who aren't in the band. Evan?
For people starting to play bass, people starting to play double bass, we get so hung up on this hand, and rightly so. Rightly so. Intonation is something I'm working on all the time, and I have these huge moments of self-doubt about my intonation. And the other thing is, of course, your double bass, man, it's an acoustic instrument, and drums are loud. It's hard to amplify it and get it sounding really tasty because you turn it up on stage, and then there's all sorts of feedback issues going on. It's a big hollow box of resonance. So it's hard to mic up. It's hard to get a great sound on stage. So quite often, one finds oneself kind of, oh man, I can kind of what I'm doing. Oh, am I playing in tune? And so yeah. Anyway, we can get very hung up here, and we also get hung up going, okay, yeah, they're playing A minor, so I can do a Dorian, I can do some Phrygian kind of thing, although it might be a little bit, that might not be quite right, I can do a Locrian thing, but it might be a bit outside. We're all kind of in that world there.
It's a D flat.
Oh no, do da da. There's Fs.
Oh yeah, there's F6.
F6.
Resolving
To a major.
To a major.
When around you, when you hear the band playing, first thing to do, I guess, is to locate what key everyone is in, and you can always ask, or you can, if you know what the, if you can read what's happening on the piano or the guitar, you can look at the hands and work it out, or you can just use your ears as well. And there's a really nice in the Victor Wooten DVD. He says a really nice thing, man, where he goes, you know, someone starts playing something and you're going like this. That is in E. He says, what's all this? Why not go? And find it in the groove, you know, and look around for it. Even if you're fumbling in the dark, man, you know, another great, another great musician, Australian clarinetist, Don Burrows. He said, no such thing as a wrong note, only an opportunity. And the other one was, there's no such thing as a wrong note because there's a right note on either side of it. So if you come in on a howler, oh yeah, you know, if you come in on the flat 5 or something, you know, there's a right note just next to it. Come in with feel, come in time, and it also makes you feel good as a player when you you feel good when you're in time. The band feels good and everyone's there. You know, and we're doing, for some reason, doing lots of stuff in minor keys today. It might not be in a minor key. You know, whatever it might be. But yeah, come in time, come in with a nice feel, pretend you speak the language, you know, the language of all this stuff, you know, with really simple tools you can make some really nice stuff, using pentatonics. So the thing I did in the E was an E minor pentatonic, that thing in C, pretty close to a major scale, but all that stuff, all those pentatonics and stuff from Motown records, Jameson stuff. It's all so valuable. It's all so valuable, and it's a great way to start. Great way to start playing. Makes people feel good in the band because, you know, those scales and those kind of scales and those kind of grooves. They outline the chords so solidly. And if you get a little bit deviant, you know, there's scope, certainly amazing scope for it, and there's beautiful scope for it. But a nice starting place is really simple stuff, you know. And you're a bassist, man, play some root notes.